Well, here on Wednesday Wisdom, we cover a lot of different topics. And I just realized today, once again, I'm going to talk about the book of Mark. And as you guys know, I've been spending some time in the book of Mark with my wife, just slowly reading through it and discussing it. In fact, I think we've been in the book of Mark since maybe Thanksgiving. Just trying to go through there and just let it speak to our hearts and see what maybe God's saying to us. And this morning, we were reading in Mark chapter 12. Just what I want to talk about today is 3 short verses, 35 through 37. That's Mark 12, 35 through 37. And it's talking about this account where the religious leaders couldn't answer a question Jesus asked them. And the question, if you want to dig and read it for yourself, that would be great. I'm just going to kind of paraphrase it here. But the question he was asking was, if the Messiah was supposed to be David's son, why then does David refer to the Messiah as Lord? In this one excerpt here from Psalms, David says, "The Lord said to my Lord, sit in the place of honor at my right hand until I humble your enemies beneath your feet." And I thought it was good to talk about this today because there's all times in my life, in our lives, where we're reading the Bible or just feel God's putting something on our heart and we don't understand it at the time. I kind of want to think back here to Jason's last week, I believe it was, where he was talking about perspective. From our current perspective, it really doesn't make sense to us at all. When we might say, that's impossible. How can someone's son also be their Lord? And at the time that this question was asked, Jesus was right there asking the question, and nobody really understood it. But now today, when we look back from a different perspective, it's obvious how that can be. Even in this part of the verse that I just told you, where it says, "The Lord said to my Lord." What if we substitute some words there and say, God the Father said to God the Son, or Jesus, "Sit in the place of honor at my right hand until I humble your enemies before your feet," or beneath your feet. Now, knowing full well the way all this played out, that makes perfect sense. But in that certain moment, from their limited perspective, it didn't make any sense at all. And that's where I want to really leave us today, is that often we have such a limited perspective of what God is doing both in the world and in our hearts that we just don't see it. And because we don't understand it, we don't give it credibility. So this week as we go forward, I'd like us to think about that. Just think about how much bigger God is, how much bigger His plan is than our limited understanding right now. No matter where we're at, what season of life it is, God knows where we're going, and we only know where we've been. And He's been with us every step of the way, and He'll continue to be there. So just take that little tidbit with you this week and maybe stew on that and see how maybe we can apply that to our lives better. About a week from today, we're at the first open test down in Circuit of the Americas in Texas. IndyCar season is right around the corner. St. Pete is less than a month away. So we're starting to get real excited here, and we just invite you on that journey with us. We will catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.